Just look back and forth. Sometimes I'll stare at that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended.
I'm Tom.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Dalton.
This is Dalton.
Yep, the one and only.
The one and only. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, he is here this week. We are going to talk all about conspiracy theories. Everything from the Loch Ness Monster to...
Is aliens really a conspiracy, though?
Aliens?
Is what?
I don't think aliens are conspiracies.
No, it's true. It's true.
Okay. Well, they do say the truth is out there, so we're going to find it tonight.
That's what I learned about you. You know what probably got me interested in aliens, actually? It's probably X-Files.
Yeah, I loved that.
I don't know if you ever watched that. I don't know how old you are, Dalton.
I'm 27.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So
I grew up on X. I'm 40.
Yeah. I'm 36.
41.
As of yesterday. No, a couple days ago. Monday?
Monday.
See, I'm so old I forget.
Yeah,
my birthday was, but... So you're aware of X-Files?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, good show. Mulder and Scully, yeah.
They redid that show.
They did?
Not redid it, but they
did like a special episode, right?
Or like new season.
Mini season, yeah.
Like, I don't know, a few years back.
Yeah, I remember that. I was sad because they looked so much older, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Nah, I was pumped.
But yeah.
Like abducted or something.
I think so.
So what got me into this is the Bob Lazar stuff.
Oh, Bob Lazar, yeah.
I don't know if you know what you know about him or anything, or what you've heard about him and everything like that.
Did he work at Area 51 or
supposedly
or something like that? Was he the one who got cut by an alien or something? They said, or
not? I haven't heard that, but I heard that he worked at it's out in that area somewhere in Nevada, I believe, and it's in area S4.
Okay, yeah.
So he didn't actually work it, and this is what he says and claims it's a whole big ordeal that it's area, S4 anyhow, what they call Sector 4. I can't remember anyhow, but that's ended up where he worked. His job was to reverse engineer spacecraft.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and he ended up doing that. He ended up becoming a whistleblower and everything like that. They ended up erasing all kinds of stuff, and that's pretty much what got me into this.
Yeah, was that the 80s?
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yep, 1980s. 1980, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, right in that era.
Yep, I remember. That was one of the episodes, if you ever watched Ancient Aliens, your dad would know. But
my dad loves Ancient Aliens.
Oh, I do too.
Like, he was never an alien guy or anything, and all of a sudden I came home from college one time and was like, John, you heard of Ancient Aliens? Yeah, I've heard of it. He's like, yeah, I think they're real.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
dude, I got, me and a buddy of mine, Efren, got into the Ancient Aliens, and so from then on, we just got hooked, and then my wife actually got into it. Well, I told her, babe, there's some seasons, I didn't even fucking know they were still 18 seasons now.
Wow.
So there's
crazy. More and more coming out, right? I mean, like, right now, there's a lot of news in that realm.
They've released a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of documents have been released.
Yeah, well, I'm currently doing this podcast deal, so normally I'm on that. But I'm just kidding.
Normally he's releasing the stuff.
No more releases tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything right now. It's fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys will see.
Okay.
Yeah, help build the pyramids, all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where do you guys stand on the flat Earth theory?
We just did one. That one
I have a hard time with it. I think that there's a lot of evidence that it's round, but
just say it, bullshit. Just go ahead.
Yeah,
bullshit.
I think bullshit. But what do you think?
I you know what? I'm kind of going down that same river.
You think it's bullshit?
In a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of down. I'm going down bullshit lane here.
Okay.
And I'm kind of seeing it.
Yeah. So saying that it's bullshit.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of bullshit.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm a sucker.
I'm a sucker for bullshit.
I'll see that right there in a YouTube documentary, however you want to say it.
Sure.
And I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the whole time, this is bullshit. But they sucked me into it, dude.
But sometimes, like, as much as I don't believe the whole flat Earth, some of the stuff that they throw out there, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. Yeah. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's people that have become so disenfranchised with the idea of somebody else giving them an answer that it's just like, okay, you know what? I can't trust anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Think for yourself. It's flat.
Yeah.
And I'm totally.
Neil deGrasse told me it's not flat.
He was very sincere in how he told me the world is round. I don't know. I just like, a lot of the early stuff about how, like, you look at the curvature of the moon, the sunlight on the moon. I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question it too much. Could I be wrong? Sure.
Do you believe in the space landing? Or do you believe that was hoaxed?
You know what?
Like the moon landing.
Yeah.
Landing.
When
Did we land on space?
Did we land on space?
So with that, that's a big ordeal. I get it on both sides. I could see I like to respect the astronauts that went through the training, went through everything like that, and I don't like disrespecting them when it comes to saying, "Hey, I haven't been there."
Right.
But there is a lot of loopholes stating that they have not also been there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting ordeal there. So
we were just talking about that the other day because I was like, something I brought up like, well, how did the camera? If Neil Armstrong was the first guy on the moon, how was a camera filming him?
Who held the camera that filmed it?
Yeah.
It's this really funny guy on YouTube.
Yeah. The way he did it.
Poses these questions, but
I actually had.
We actually looked it up, and there was an answer. But it is in that era of time where it wasn't uncommon for the government to lie through their teeth about things. So it's like I can see.
Area 50. What was it? The wreckage,
everything,
and the UFO Roswell. Yeah.
So my feeling with all that used to be, I looked at it as a very like military operation type thing. You're afraid that the Russians are going to be aware of what technology we're developing. So you stage something out in the desert. You start pretending that you're covering up aliens to divert attention away from what you're really doing. So everyone's just like looking at this red herring, right? Like they're hiding aliens. No, we're not. But they keep feeding little bits to drive you that way to keep your eye off of what they're really developing. However, there is new stuff coming out that's like, our Air Force is seeing things that they can't explain, and that could be all a part of the same thing. But more and more documents are getting released from a long time ago, and
come up with some kind of like cover up though.
Well, and a lot of just stories of random people that have no connection and no reason to lie that have said they've seen certain things. So
another deal that I've heard people say that this alien stuff is a hoax and whatnot. Another thing to look into, like I've heard people saying that. Like Roswell, for instance, that town needed they need something to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some people coming through here. Let's do this bullshit. It'll get people coming in here and all that stuff, which is hard for me to deal with, but hard for me to swallow with that stuff. But
well, how would that be though? Because why would the Air Force then say that it was their weather balloon? Well, wasn't that their official story?
No.
Was it
So it originally wasn't the official story, and
True.
Then when people were like, "No, this is something else," they were like, "Oh, actually, it was a weather balloon." Sorry, like they.
So what did they originally say?
That it was aliens. They originally,
I think it was newspaper.
Yeah. Yep. It was like that. It was a UFO thing, but then they retracted and said, "No, it's actually."
But still, would the Air Force? So, like you're saying, you have a hard time believing that story that it was Roswell itself. Why would the military get involved at all? If it, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they take any responsibility if it was a city that was responsible for it?
So I think I remember there was a farmer that came to the site first.
Yes, you're right.
And then the military ended up showing up. And what's crazy about that is how did they know what was going on? What kind of stuff did they have to be aware?
Yeah,
for sure. It's really weird.
Like, oh, it's a weather balloon. We're just here to get our weather balloon.
Yeah.
Don't look at this little crippled, burnt body.
If that was the case,
this little gray guy now.
If that was the case, they'd be like, all right, fuck this. Let's go to the nearest warehouse and get this over with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it'd be done with those fellas. They wouldn't worry about this.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Right. Sorry, farmer, it's on your property. You're the one legally responsible for this.
Oh, speaking of farmers or ranchers, here's another crazy thing. What do you think about cow mutilations? I got some stories about this.
Well, there's that, what's that site out in, is it Colorado or?
Where
Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
They have a lot of like mutilations, but they'll be like perfectly mutilated or something like that, surgically.
So what do you think? What do you think about that?
So one of the places I delivered to, which is out in Oregon, not too far from here, it's about an hour and a half. It's called Fossil, the town down here. If you go to Arlington, you hang a left, go up Highway 19, you'll end up going back that way.
Okay.
Well, the rancher, he started telling me about these cow mutilations, and he ended up. This is the fourth bull he ended up losing.
So his personal animals. Worth a lot of money. Bulls are worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of money.
Goes up like crazy.
Right. He's losing a lot of money, and he's pretty upset about this. And he didn't know who to go to. He didn't want to sound like a nutcase. Yeah. So all this was going on and everything like that, and they got all kinds of people out there. There's no explanation for what happened. The nose is cut out. A couple other things are taken off and everything like that. There's no tracks, no fight, no nothing, no animal struggle or nothing. And one of the last bull that was hurt, or killed was sitting down straight, and his head was kind of perched up.
Creepy.
And there's pictures of this
Like
and
looking
everything.
towards the sky.
Yes, absolutely. And I know this guy.
That's crazy.
So
well, ranchers are not like fuck around guys typically.
No,
they're pretty old school. Like,
well, So I have a friend that's big into like buying, and him and his dad buy cattle and sell it. So they're like, for them, that's like a way of life.
And a bull's not just meat. A bull is studding fees and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of money.
Yeah, we're similar to that.
Yeah,
Us three. Study.
Yeah. In my younger days, when
Yeah.
nobody bought, but I was fully on the market.
Yeah.
I gave away.
Well, this is. I'm guessing. I tried.
Yeah.
Try to sell this.
This is a small town. I'm guessing.
Also, I haven't seen the town, but I've seen like the.
You're aware of it.
Yeah. I have not like crazy stuff like that.
They're not really near any other large areas. Like there's not some surgeon that would be like just wanting to go.
You know where Arlington, Oregon is? Just there's like nothing out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They had the veterinarian or whatever came out and looked at this, and there's no explanation how this stuff got cut out of the animal. Like there's no tools we have today. They said themselves that this could be done by us.
This is just weird.
Yeah, this is weird. It's inexplainable. That's all they left it
and
as.
This is his fourth
bull.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy to see pictures
over a time period, which I could probably try to get pictures as well if I go back out there.
Huh.
And then there's also
did the sheriff come out? Like, is there any kind of like sheriff's reports on this stuff, or was he hesitant?
I'm sure he ended up going to that. I can't remember exactly what the guy ended up saying.
Yeah.
But there's also, I've talked to a couple other people out there, other farmer locations and stuff. And there was one of the guys, hired man I delivered to. He says that, I don't know if this guy's a nutcase or not. You know, we all are, so I'm cool with what he's telling me. I don't mind. He's saying he sees craft.
Oh, he sees like things out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So, and he's the town before Fossil, and he sees this stuff.
So he's in the vicinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, up the road a few miles.
So there's some weird things going on out there.
Huh.
Like close to us.
I can believe that. That's only about an hour and a half or so, isn't it?
Yeah, on foot. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's my brother. Yeah.
You know, think about what we built here in the Tri-Cities. We have a ton of energy here. Nuclear power plant. We were producing plutonium for nukes.
Department of Energy.
I'm sure we were setting out some waves, right? So our area could.
Good taco trucks here now.
Yeah. Good taco trucks.
If I was able to
taco trucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You smell
Yeah. Yeah, that's on the top, right?
Yeah. That's where you're gonna find them.
Dude, I've always wanted to see aliens, and I always wondered about the whole mutilation thing too, because like when I'd watch like Ancient Aliens or just any other random show, like there's always that, mutilations, but usually they can tell if it's like a coyote or something, because,
right?
There's going to be tear marks or there's going to be something. So
or a rat taken out of a bull. No, I'm just kidding.
Anything like you'll see it, but to be surgically and like professionally, like that's crazy. Probably cauterize.
Okay, so that's fascinating too, because do you guys remember the cat murders around here a couple years ago?
Yes, that was just like.
Do you remember that? We were like very worried that there was a soon-to-be serial killer on the loose, because
that was just like period just before COVID.
It was, or like at the beginning of COVID. It was a while ago. Yeah, and there was all these reports of mutilated cat corpses, but like precision cuts being laid out. I think one was almost by the police station, several yards. My dad ended up having a cat in his yard. Like months later, I'm like, Dad, you need to call the police. He's like,
Well, dude,
I'm kind of a dog guy myself.
But I am too. But the official story came out. It was a coyote. That was the official story that came out, because they took these cat corpses to WSU, their veterinary, whatever, and they said, no, this is the way that it happens with coyotes. Is it's surgical.
Wily coyotes.
But my question is though, if that's the case, we've had coyotes around here forever. We've had cats around here forever. why would these be any different than what we see all the time anyway?
I just don't believe it because coyotes don't have thumbs.
How are they surgical? How do they put the gloves on?
Where'd they get the tools?
Where do they get the tools?
If I was a coyote, you think a coyote would fuck that thing up? Though?
But you see what I'm saying? Though, is like,
I think a cat would fucking smack a coyote in the face and run,
right? Slap it back and forth.
Yeah. Me and Tom, we went hiking. This was a few years back.
On foot?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Hiking by
with a car.
In a car.
Hiking in a car.
Hiking on a bike.
Journey.
Yeah.
We were up at Badger Mountain and we were coming around the backside of Badger, and sure enough, here comes a coyote.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that thing's kind of small.
They are.
They're not very big.
Didn't look like a surgeon at all.
No. He didn't have a mask on. He didn't have
no mask. Very unprofessional.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Hair everywhere.
Clearly had been on a bender for a few weeks.
Yeah.
He ignored us too.
Yeah,
I was ready to throw a rock or something, kick it or something, just in case.
They want nothing to do with people.
No.
But no, I mean, like, these cats are found. One was on a golf course in like downtown Richland, the Columbia Point. There was a yard over by Costco.
Good taste.
I mean, it's just like, it was one of these things where it's like so deep in the city. And
why would it be a coyote?
Why would it be a coyote? But it leads me to this thing, like, would a coyote take down a bull?
Hell no.
You know, like, even that doesn't make sense.
But the way he was just saying it was like propped and like positioned in a certain way.
I think it would take 5,000 of them to take down a bull.
That would be
maybe.
quite a sight. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Get this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Tilt his head more.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that is probably the creepiest aspects of aliens. Just like,
I don't know. I've always thought, you know what I always thought is that aliens, obviously I've always thought they've been and they've acknowledged we've been here, but we've always been like their little ant farm, right?
Just watching.
They'll come over and just check on us, see how we're doing. Okay.
Oh, they're blowing shit up again. Let's go down there.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Europe's at war again. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let me put an end to this.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. They always say too, there's always like a lot more sightings during when there's like peaks and wars and stuff.
Well, the atom bomb was a big deal. They say they think that you can stuff like that you can steal from space or whatever is going on. Energy. Yeah, so they're like, shit,
what's going on?
Yeah, we got to go down there. They're playing with fire.
God damn it!
So
Jesus, we need you again.
Yeah, get your ass down here.
Well, no, like I don't know. I actually just seen this video. And I saved it for this podcast because it was about alien stuff. It's something I seen on Ancient Aliens. Like the hieroglyphics, right? They showed like it looks like a helicopter, and they compared it to a helicopter.
Yeah.
A light bulb compared to a light bulb. Like it was really, really fascinating. It's always tripped me out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you seen that on Ancient Aliens? Like,
no.
I'll have to pull that up.
Pull it out, dude.
I'll pull it up here.
Pull it out.
Oh, shit.
Whip it out.
Whip it out.
Yeah.
Although that's my. Let's see here.
Well, I don't want to hear that wrong. I jumped the gun a little bit.
Oh, see right. Let me see here. I'll have to.
Oh, I definitely have seen that. I'm glad you did.
See that? See how there's a helicopter?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a spaceman too. They've done it.
Yeah.
Yep. A guy sitting in a rocket ship as well.
Yeah. In like Inca times and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it looks like he has like a whole breathing apparatus. It looks like he's in a space contraption. It's really cool the way they can like have it look.
Well, then of course there's Rockstar games, right? In GTA 5.
Yeah.
The aliens in there, right?
So you played GTA 5, huh?
Oh, I love GTA 5. Yeah.
Oh, I knew you were a gangster at heart.
I'm a GTA guy all the way. GTA 6 is coming out.
Oh, you're gonna do it? What console?
I'm gonna have to buy a new console for it. I'm sure.
What do you have now?
I have a PS4.
Nice. Yes.
I have an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I have both.
Oh, you do?
Not 360.
The one.
Yeah,
okay.
Xbox One. I have the. I have a PS5 and a PS4.
Nice.
Yep, I'm a gamer.
I am. We're doing Halo currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for the Halo show.
Oh, very much. That's aliens right along this topic, dude.
Yeah, that show that it looks like a really good show actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen previews to that? Halo?
No.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up at something about aliens that I saw. So I'm listening. I'm telling
you, I think aliens are real though. So do you watch Ancient Aliens and all that?
Here and there, I watched a long time ago, like a lot more.
Yeah, same.
I don't watch it as much anymore. I haven't seen that right now. Like I watch a lot of documentaries like on this stuff constantly. Like that's kind of what I've like this like the whole Bob Lazar rabbit trail. I gotten down big time. They came out with his documentary with that one guy.
Is that the one that's on the is it on Amazon? I know
it might have been on Amazon, but he ended up going on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh, nice.
And him and Bob Lazar and the guy that does the Skinwalker Ranch stuff too.
Yeah.
He did Bob Lazar's deal.
The Skinwalker Ranch documentary is the one I was watching not that long ago. I think that was on Amazon.
See, that one's not. That's crazy. What's going on there too?
Yeah.
How the guy ended up getting sick of some sort. That swollen on his head or whatever happened to him. Because I don't know if they can find out because of radiation. I can't remember what it was or nothing. But I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
Well, they would hear stuff out there at Skinwalker Ranch, and the Skinwalkers or whatever they call them. It's pretty crazy. Some of the
Have you ever watched the Ghost Adventures?
The Ghost Adventures, yeah. Off and on, a long time ago.
I just know I haven't seen all of them, and I watch them every now and again. And anyhow, they do a Skinwalker Ranch one.
Oh, that's
just
creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. They think that stuff's haunted as well. Which
no,
so behind that.
Skinwalker Ranch, I'm not 100% familiar with what it is. Is it a big old ranch?
It's a ranch. I think it's I don't know if it's in New Mexico,
Utah.
Is it Utah?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's somewhere out that way, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's this big, huge property.
Okay, so it's big open space, but crazy shit happens.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Lots of different things. People hear things. Like,
do they think it's like electromagnetic field related stuff, or like because I
know they've seen stuff. So
I've heard some of the theories like things are based on like electromagnetic positioning or something for alien spaceships to maybe calculate.
Could be a spaceship in the ground.
Could be a spaceship in the ground.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Dig a trench, put it in there, call it a day, park it.
Hey, we did that with everything that we nuked up out of Hanford. We buried entire trains, right?
Well, there you go.
Haven't they was it over Antarctica or somewhere? There's like they had some aerial footage of what looked like a spacecraft.
That was the movie Transformers. No, I'm just kidding.
It probably was.
I believe it was Transformers 2, actually.
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Well, how much energy do you think it would take to operate a spaceship? Because like a lot of the technologies that we're starting to use require more and more and more electricity, right? So could these theoretically be so high intensity electric that what if we were a dumping ground for?
I don't know. I
bet you these guys like, oh, we crapped up this spaceship. It's radioactive now. Let's bury that thing in the ground. Could take it to Earth. We don't like those guys.
So
anyway.
that's Bob Lazar does a whole segment on what he thinks is running this spaceships.
Yeah.
So I can't remember everything what's going on with it, but it's pretty crazy segment what he does and everything like that. That would have been kind of interesting to talk about right now. But
I know there's some stuff where it's like electromagnetic crap, like
gyroscope.
Yeah, gyrofield. I don't know, some kind of like the magnet of like Earth's atmosphere. I don't know, some crazy shit.
But I don't think it's like what we have now, rockets and stuff like that. Yeah. It's definitely not that kind of stuff that I would assume anyhow. I would think.
Right.
And there's definitely something going on with if there is life out there and how far they are away. That's another thing. How far, and people don't think they'll travel this far to come here. What if they're right next door?
Right.
So you don't know exactly what distance they're traveling, and if they are traveling a far distance, they gotta have some crazy technology, or they gotta have been around for a long time. Or another theory with that, or their advancement is, so we started off, coal trains. Look where we're at now, 100-something years later.
Not all that long.
Yeah, we got advanced recently pretty quickly.
Right.
I would say with cell phones, everything coming
out.
Look
at the airplanes at the beginning of World War II, and look at the spacecraft we have today.
That's another thing. So in 1970, I can't remember what, it might have been 1968, I can't remember, but the Blackbird, the plane that came out, the fastest plane at the time or something like that, that was getting built, I believe, in the 1960s.
I think you're right, yeah.
And it finally came out in the 1980s. So I don't know if it was a 20-year gap or something like that along those lines.
I want to say they say the military is like, I don't know, was it like 12 years or something like that, like technology-wise.
Ahead of what we even know.
I think it's more than that.
And they would have to be.
Anyhow.
Yeah. They would have to be, you know. And
well, I think a lot of the stuff too, if they have come across like spacecrafts or any of that stuff, they reverse engineer that shit, and then
Right.
that's how they'll come up with half the shit that we see years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was just looking up. So there's a thing on Netflix that I think just came out, because when I turned Netflix on earlier, it popped up, and it was about aliens, and there was a reference to an office that was created in the military that was all responsible for investigating alien life or just spaceship sightings, or I don't know exactly, but
Was it the Black Book or something? Blue Book?
no,
or
it's like the
Project Blue Book?
MJ
Project
or
Blue Book.
yeah.
this is a military unit of some kind, I think in the Air Force, but it was like an actual office, and I don't remember the term that they used.
I know, like Britain used to have like their own like type of, I don't know,
Space Force type
Space
deal.
Force. Yeah, I forget what they called it.
Have you guys seen that show, Space Force? You watch that?
Yeah.
You guys like it?
I haven't
Pretty
seen
funny.
that one.
Pretty funny. Steve Carell wants
Yeah.
to be one of the Joint Chiefs,
Yeah.
and he ends up being underneath the Air Force.
Yeah.
Steve
Space Force.
Carell's perfect for that role.
Yes, he
That's
is.
awesome.
Wow.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Space
there's
Force.
I've heard of Project Blue Book, but there's also like a satellite that's been around for centuries or something. They call it the Black Knight.
Haven't heard of this.
Yeah, there's this. So if you look it up, there's it's a satellite that's within the Earth's orbit, but no one knows where the fuck it came from. It's just been there for
Really?
eons. Yeah, it's called the Black Knight or some shit like
It's
that.
been there since we realized things could orbit the Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been there for hella long.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forget how long. Hella long. That's my timeline.
That's a long time.
That's a hell of a
That's
long
the
ass
official
time.
recording. It's a hell long ago. This was shot up in the sky. And
Wow.
Let me
Yeah.
see. Black.
Shoot.
If I can spell Black Knight.
yeah, so back to the cow mutilation thing for a minute. Such a common thing that you hear about. Happens all over, like geographically, all over the country. There's stories of this kind of stuff happening. I mean, even if it were human caused, about serial killers, right? Like
Mhm.
they start with animals and then move on to people. But it's like kids playing with rodents or dead animals they find. It's not people going after big bulls and not doing this kind of, like, what would be the rational answer to what's happening where throughout the country there are enough psychos, let's say, that would want to murder bulls in these weird ways? What is the likelihood of that compared to the likelihood of some other explanation? I mean, it just doesn't seem that likely to me.
So one of the other explanations I've heard, that a lot of this stuff I don't agree with, I just heard anyhow. I
Sure.
don't know. I'm just stating what I've heard, is the government with radioactive cows. So they think it's the government coming down, killing the cows, checking how much radiation us here will eat. When we eat it.
Okay.
So they want to keep tabs on that. That's one of the other.
It's like a public health
Yes.
thing, but through the military way of just,
Yes.
we'll just murder.
Yes, exactly. We don't want to tell anybody that they're eating a whole bunch of radiation. So let's
I mean,
do
I can
this.
believe it,
Well,
especially in this area.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's one of the
Are they
things.
doing that with the deer running around, the jackrabbits out there at Hanford? Because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
those
there's
guys are
three-head
fucked
deer.
up.
yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's
Huh.
some crazy stuff.
Well, okay, all right. I mean, a little more plausible that way.
Or aliens coming down and just doing this.
Just fucking up cows.
Yeah,
They like
Because
the taste of
why
beef.
not?
but there's also people saying they've been abducted and worked on and
Right.
Anally probed.
Well,
The
So,
famous
there's
South
been
Park episode.
Yeah,
well, there's
there
these
you
people
go. Yeah.
who say they've been abducted, and there's like doctors who will have pulled like chips or certain things out of these people who've claimed to be abducted, and they each of these people have had like some kind of like chip inside them that this doctor was able to get out. And
See, and this is the kind of
it
stuff.
was pretty trippy. I was like, oh, okay.
We need like official records out. Do you remember when everything was super fucked up with COVID and it was just insane? We're just like, come on. And all of a sudden, like, oh, and just like not even a headline. It was just like, oh, and UFO has been confirmed by the government.
let's
Oh,
just
yeah,
throw
they just-
everything
they
on
just
the
Remember that? And it's just like, Oh, and
because
that's not even
COVID's
a
so
big
big,
deal. There was
it's
so
just-
much else going on. It was just like, and the government's not denying UFOs.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they are alien, but they weren't. They just were saying we still have no clue what this stuff is.
Aliens.
Yeah, the guys
So-
that are trained solely to just be badasses, flying jets around, and their minds are sharp
This is
as
the
tacks.
thing, and they know technology.
Yes.
They're aware of the technology
Well,
available.
have you seen the footage of the
Yeah.
Air Force guys? Like, what the fuck is this thing?
I will tell
It's
you,
moving so
the
fucking
weirdest
quick,
thing
it's
I've
stupid.
ever seen in my life. I was sleeping outside during the summer one time when I was a kid, and I woke up like middle of the night, and this was like not that big a deal. You could say that I was sleeping and I thought I was awake, but it was very vivid, and it was so like just not a big deal really, but just so bizarre when you really think about it. I really do think I was awake. I'm looking up at the sky, and I see these 3 stars. You know how stars look in the sky? They're far off balls of light. These 3 stars, are moving in sync in these weird, like geometric patterns. I'm not talking like circular. I'm talking.
That's a spacecraft.
I'm talking. They move, they stop. They move again, they stop. They move again, they stop. But I'm not close, not seeing anything, seeing stars.
Just a
amongst
perfect.
tons of other stars. So this would have been gigantic, or it would have been multiple.
Well, they say
points.
there have been alien spacecrafts or UFOs, mind you, that are like
Triangle.
3
Sure.
like a triangle.
So I'm not abducted, not any experience, but there are stars in
Yeah.
between these stars. But you're just looking and you're seeing this triangle of
That's
stars
That's kind of cool.
moving in the sky. And then that was it. It's over. No personal experience outside of that, but I just was like,
No peyote, right?
no, I was like 12.
Okay.
You know?
So no peyote.
No
No,
peyote.
that- we don't know. That was
Not
13.
even a course. There was
Oh, yeah.
nothing. I mean, so yeah, I was just like, no. I mean, maybe a Coca-Cola.
I know.
Oh, that would get you.
Like
That would
an
get
hour
you.
before,
Yeah.
perhaps a Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I don't know.
Yellow
But-
12.
And then another time I saw something kind of similar that could have been a helicopter in the distance. It kind of did the same thing, but it was a much larger light closer to Earth. That one I think has a more logical explanation. The first thing I saw, I have no idea. It wasn't a personal experience. Nothing happened.
Lisa thinks she's seen something one time when we were
Yeah.
driving back from Portland or somewhere. I think we were on our way back from Portland one night, and she said she was trying to get my attention, but I'm fucking driving, and I didn't. I couldn't see you at that time. But I was like, God damn it! I wanted to see you.
Stop this vehicle. Let's look right now.
I know.
We're in the
No,
middle.
We're
of
not
it.
even pulling over. We're just going to stop right
Like
in the middle
one of the
road.
things that always tripped me out was hearing about the Phoenix Lights, they call it. Or whatever.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
And they've tried to recreate that because people are saying, "Oh, there was like a jump crew, like
And their flares.
their flares," and they can't
Yeah.
recreate because it was like you were just saying,
In
like
sync.
in perfect sync, everything just.
Well, and
moved.
that's the thing is I can't even explain just how mundane but then insane this was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like on the face of it, you could have easily missed it. And so maybe my eyes just made it up. I don't know, but it's just just a summer night. The crickets chirping, and there's these 3 little lights
UFOs
next to it
out.
with these stars just moving.
So what I have also seen is I've seen 3 lights like that.
Personally, you've seen it?
Personally, myself, yes. And this is kind of one of those deals that kind of got me on this alien train anyhow, full steam ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 3 of them, it was similar like that. And then I seen the one jump to the other one, and then it jumped back. So I watched, I thought it was just stars. I was just looking at it.
Yes.
So me and my buddy, we were young, about probably that same age, and
Okay.
we were sitting back looking on our backs, and we look at the stars. That's what we like to do.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't making out or nothing like that. It was one of those deals.
It wasn't that kind of a night.
No, it wasn't that kind of. That was the next time.
We were hot and heavy.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
spin the bottle happening. Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Nothing
Okay.
crazy.
All
Just
right.
a normal night with some dudes.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I seen that or whatever, and that's kind of what got me on the star jumping back and forth. And
Sure.
like, what the heck is that? And then it ended up going right above our house and stopped and stayed there. So we were a little concerned. So what did we do? Not much anyhow, but so we started looking this stuff up.
Mhm.
Started seeing if anybody else has witnessed this, and that was kind of one of the closest stories I've heard about it. So
And that was
well,
local area. That was around here.
yeah, that was in Pasco.
I was gonna say because you're
So,
from here, so it's
I am
like,
from
yeah,
here.
yeah.
How old were you at that time?
12, he said.
12.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. I was actually way older than that.
Okay.
So shoot, I might have been. I can't.
Because
remember.
mine would have been a different time frame than that. I was
I
wondering
can
if they
believe-
would sync up time wise, but I don't think they would have.
I could believe that, like,
But that's just
something happened.
that's the type of movement I'm talking about, though. Is like it's not a normal movement. It's very straight, and we're talking like if you think about a star.
Mhm.
I mean, it's that size, so maybe it's way closer and just very silent. I don't know.
Well, they say like the
But-
UFOs can be silent.
Whatever it is,
They
I mean,
don't,
the
they don't have like an
movements.
engine the way we
Right.
typically do.
Well, this would have to operate on something different because we're talking very linear, very hard angled movements. It's not a curve. It's not anything like that. And it sounds like that's what you witnessed.
Yeah, I seen a beeline just straight boom,
Yes.
straight boom.
And then it's just, and these three, if I remember right, they were moving in sync. And some kind of a pattern.
I don't know why I
and
picture like a Ouija board. You know how we move the Ouija
Ooh,
board?
It's
crazy
kind of
shit.
like that, but just 3 points of light.
Another thing to think about with all this sightings, people say, like, what if the military is so much more advanced that we don't know about it, and it's our own military we are seeing?
See, and that
I can believe
and that is my only reservation to saying, like, I think I believe this stuff is, it does make a lot of sense to me that the government would be responsible for a disinformation campaign to pull our attention away from what they really don't want us to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they did have spacecraft that could move, and you think about what we're doing now internationally,
Yeah.
it's becoming a hotter button issue
But-
of inner
What about the stuff
space.
like before, like planes were invented and shit?
Right.
The stuff. I mean, how do you explain that stuff? That's what I always wonder.
Like what kind
Time
of stuff?
travelers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no. There's been like documentation and stuff of the explorers saying they've seen stuff coming out.
Oh, yeah,
flying, and,
right.
this kind of stuff. So it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
But I can believe our government hiding shit from us.
Here,
They don't
another-
want everyone to know everything.
Well, they would have to, like, to some
Yeah.
point, but it would be really smart to be like, oh, people think we're hiding aliens. We can use this.
Oh yeah, scare the
You
shit
know,
out of other
that
people.
makes sense to me. Like, yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of fake shit to make people think that we're hiding aliens, and then they'll be so focused on trying to crack that they won't even look at
I
it.
don't know. And
But-
I think stuff goes
I don't
on
know,
out
though.
just right over here because I don't know. Like in the mornings, I always hear like a helicopter off in the distance or something.
Yeah.
So what those are the orchards.
Yeah.
That's
if you
true,
hear
yeah.
the
Like,
The
it's out towards
yeah.
like I don't know,
Finley or-
Hermiston, that area. Yeah, that's where I hear coming from, like over that way.
and there is a helicopter that flies out by Finley area.
Yeah, I always hear something.
That's true. And those are to dry out the field, right? So the
Mhm.
crops don't rot or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Every
This-
time
this
I
would
get
be towards Hermiston, the one that
Okay.
area.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know though. I mean, like, we still have an active, like, the Pasco Airport is still an active military airport. They have legal rights to use it from time to time. It started out as a
I didn't know that.
military. It started out as a Air Force installation, and then it was purchased for private use.
I can
But
believe
then-
that, I guess, especially during the time.
Yeah, and so you'll
That's
notice
huge.
how many times we have like the big aircraft
Yeah,
flying
I've seen it.
over. They do
I've seen like the helicopters. You
Mhm.
ever see like
the Blackhawks and
yeah,
all that.
the
Yeah,
black, like 3-4 of them.
so that they just use it as practice. They'll
South
fly
Koreans
over
jump out
from
of
the
it.
west side and then they land and then they do takeoff practices and stuff like that. It's not really like a base, but they just use it. And that's part of the contract apparently for it being used as like this lifetime of use that they get some sort of dibs to. So I mean
Dibs.
there's a military history in our area.
So also
Yes.
in our area, you're talking about Washington.
Washington, yeah.
So Washington, Oregon, they blow up some crazy stuff.
Yeah, because we got the Army depots just right here in Umatilla too.
Yeah.
Chemical weapons depot.
And they're also saying that Bigfoot
Oh yeah,
Is-
100%.
over here.
Yeah, one of the biggest areas of Sasquatch sightings, right? In
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Cascades,
for
the
sure.
northern Cascades.
Yes.
Come on, the Sonics, their mascot was a Sasquatch.
I'm telling you, that story I told when I was in
I'm
my
telling
truck,
you, dude, I worked with this guy, and he would tell me because he was big into hiking, or not even hiking, just camping. And this dude used to be in like the military, so he would go and I've told Tom this. This guy would go in the middle of the woods, not even like a trail. He'll just go out somewhere and he'll put up trail cams, and he'll leave them out there for weeks. And then he would send me videos of like like just the animals that came through or whatever. And then he started telling me stories about like Bigfoot stuff. And the only reason I knew is because I had watched that Les Stroud episode season where he's, looking for Bigfoot kind of way. And he was like, yeah, no, you hear some crazy stuff. Like you'll hear these 3 knocks and you'll hear all this. But it was like Bigfoot related. And he was saying that him and his friend would actually go out and like search for Bigfoot, not only in this area, but out in the South somewhere, North Carolina, somewhere out that way, where I guess it could be
Appalachia or
something like that. But yeah, that's what he would do. Like
that was his thing.
That was his thing. Is he was actually looking for like
Bigfoot.
Looking for Bigfoot.
I want to do that someday. That'd be kind of fun.
He told me some of the stuff he would tell me he heard. Tripped me out, like because it's funny because I heard this on this show that I'm watching.
Yeah.
About like if it's Bigfoot, you'll hear these knocks, or you'll hear like these weird noises, or you'll see the way the trees are falling down.
That showed the branches broken or the trees broken in a certain way.
Yeah, the way and where they're broken, it's like it's not because it's wind.
It's like a huge part of the tree that'll be hanging at a weird angle.
Yeah. And so he was like, so he started telling me that, and then for me it just clicked. I never said to him like, I know what you're doing, but like just the stuff you would tell me, and I was just like, this dude's looking for Bigfoot, man. I know he is. That's kind of cool, like.
I have a friend that grew up in the Hoquiam, and I haven't talked to the guy in a long time, and he could have been lying. I mean, people lie. But he talked about one time when he was a kid being outside, and they had a pretty big property out there. And if you
was he native?
Native Hoquiam?
No, I mean, was he a native?
No, he's a white guy.
Oh, okay.
But they had quite a large property out there, and it's it's very woodsy in that part of the state.
Yeah.
And I guess one time they were way out in a field that's kind of behind their house, and they heard something that they swore was like a Bigfoot, and they ran inside. So it could be scared kids, could have been whatever, but he was
scared shitless.
Very much under the impression that this stuff's real. So
what I've heard as well, we were bringing up aliens earlier, that what if Bigfoot's an alien?
What if Bigfoot is never found dead because Bigfoot gets picked up by a fucking spacecraft?
He lives on the ground, dude?
He lives on the ground. He's like the groundhogs. You don't find those either.
What they say, that like center of the earth, that's like another, it's like another world. Like, it's not actually like the core the way we think of the core. It's actually like another earth within the earth kind of deal.
Have you guys watched a documentary with the Finding Bigfoot? Have you guys not Finding Bigfoot Expedition?
Aware of it. I have not watched
it,
but I am aware of it.
Because that one, that's what's crazy. So they actually get some real scientists out there, not the guys out there doing Bigfoot calls and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But, they actually get some scientists behind it.
That's what I liked about that list. Is like some of the stuff that they came out with.
I want people that are honest, they're going to debunk as much as they're going to
exactly.
leave it open. Like, we don't know. We can't explain this.
And what's some weird stuff that happens is he just randomly disappears. Like what they filmed anyhow, whether it's him or not. Like, my brother likes to joke with, we'll talk about this stuff. And they're like, so they found him? I'm like, no. So you're saying they found him? No, I'm not. Okay, then why the fuck are you telling me this? I'm like, dude, come on, this is some crazy shit. Just think about it, dude. Open your mind up a little bit. Come on, man. See what's going on.
What I'm hearing is you found him.
Yeah, shoot. No, it's just crazy stuff. But the whole tunnel theory, that's for sure. That's a pretty good one for sure. They, going down the ground anyhow. That's why you don't see no bodies. Because that's a big thing with hunters. Like, oh, we don't see no bones. So I'm like, well, how often do you see a grizzly bear bone?
Right. A lot of people
hardly ever.
That a lot of animals will.
They just found gorillas in like the 1960s or 70s or something like that. They just found silverback gorillas for the first time.
Right. And now they're everywhere.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Bigfoot, that's actually intelligent somewhat.
Yeah, and that's probably bigger than a gorilla.
Smarter than me.
Yeah.
For damn sure, I can't hide that good.
One picture in all these years.
Yeah.
So
seriously, what the fuck?
So that Les Stroud, he was saying because obviously the forest is massive.
The forest? We talking about Star Wars?
The forest.
Forest.
Oh,
the forest.
Okay. The forest is strong with this one.
Yeah. The
strong I am. No, the forest, it's so massive. He's like, if I could hide in here and survive for weeks, who's to say that there's not something out there that's 300 times as intelligent than I am it's he it's gonna
it'll smell you from a
and
distance.
and the cool thing with him, he's like, I'm not saying there is a Bigfoot, but I'm also not saying there isn't one, because he goes, myself, I've never seen anything,
right?
And so they they were tracking, they'd seen like footprints in the way, like the distance between the like the Loch, it was like huge. It was, this person would be huge, like it was pretty cool, like some of the stuff they brought up.
Well, I watched a documentary last night that was on Amazon Prime. It was very interesting. It was about people that have been lost, hiking, going out in the woods, hunting, whatever it may be. It wasn't about Bigfoot. It wasn't about anything supernatural. It was just sort of like these crazy stories of people that get lost in the woods. And there are these cluster areas in the nation that are very common for hikers, hunters, whoever, to disappear, like without a trace.
Mm-hmm.
There's one, I didn't end up getting to watch the whole thing. It got a little late, but where I was ending it, there was a guy that he was very knowledgeable of the area. He left his group of guys that he was out there with. They were hunters. He was just a lifetime hunter. He was going to go get supplies. This guy had buried like a cache somewhere, and his supplies fell off somewhere and went down the river or whatever. So he was going to go get this cache of supplies and come back and meet him. He ended up off track miles and miles, like 11 miles away from where he thought he should be. They found his boots. And this is a sheriff that this guy's interviewing. And the sheriff's looking over a map, and he's talking about all the bizarre things. So he's like, well, first of all, we found his boots here. And then he continues on here. And the funny thing is, our investigators checked that spot the day before. These are like world-renowned wild rescue investigators. There was nothing there the day before. These boots were laid out side by side.
Like, just purposely.
Then there was his water canteen was sitting on a rock 6 miles farther up later. So the theory was, at first he was becoming hypothermic. He started stripping his clothes off because a huge snowstorm came around that time. And he should have died in that area. They found nothing. He was a bow hunter. He had a bow on him.
Yeah.
Never found the bow. Never found his sidearm that he had on him.
So he had protection just in case.
They ended up finding his backpack, a light jacket, and some other little thing at a ranch, ultimately 11 miles away.
That's great. But not him. Backwoods.
I don't believe they ever... Backwoods Raper Stripes again. Stripes again. Stripes again. He's very flamboyant. Backwoods Raper. Anyway,
that's kind of.
But
wild.
I mean, like, if you do tie it into this kind of stuff, I mean,
who's to say he wasn't like abducted or Bigfoot just fucking gobbled that motherfucker?
Well, okay, so like there are areas they said it's just known as a fact about the outdoors that there are cluster areas where it's common or more common for people to go missing. There are clusters where maybe within a square mile radius 2 or 3 people go missing.
Well,
there's clusters.
Triangle.
Yeah.
So there is a place down in, I think it was New Mexico, that 33 people have gone missing in this one small geographic location.
Well, they're renowned for like sightings, New Mexico,
right?
Stuff,
So I mean, it is kind of like if you start, again, this isn't like like this is proof, but like, could there be a connection to that?
Smoking gun.
Some that kind of area, and like, there's no proof, there's no evidence. It's not scientific. It's just
there's a Fire in the Sky abduction movie.
Oh, that was a great movie.
So yeah,
that's based on a true story, though, right?
It's supposed to be, yeah,
right,
yeah, supposed to be for sure.
But like you were saying, the Bermuda Triangle, like that shit's always tripped me out. I've talked about that on this podcast before. Like I don't know, I found that fascinating.
Yeah.
Me and my other buddy, like the one who was into alien stuff, we said this long time ago, like, okay, when we're old and we're like dead and decrepit, we're fucking going.
We're gonna fly over.
No, we're going in the boat. We're going into the Bermuda Triangle to see where that fucking.
See where it leads you.
See what happens, because you always hear these stories of.
Well, there's the official military story.
Well, yeah, where the guys someone went missing, and then they sent 5 planes to go find that person.
To find them, and they all went missing. And the last radio calls were that their equipment was all fucked up.
Yeah,
and they didn't know where they were.
There was another story of a guy who was the same shit. It all went haywire, and he was. I forget how many miles.
We just finished each other's sentence, by the way.
Yeah, see, look at that.
Yeah, we
We
did.
told you you'd fit in.
Yeah. Shoot, next is crossing streams, but other than that, we can keep doing this for now.
Go play swords.
Yeah.
It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Don't judge me.
So as you're saying, they're going haywire, all the mechanical
Yeah,
things, and like they don't have GPS, but they had the compass and all that. Yeah.
Right.
What I think kind of happened with that is when your compass goes haywire, you start going the wrong direction. I don't know the diameters of how far the Bermuda Triangle is, how many miles or whatnot.
It's pretty
But
good size, yeah.
if you think you got enough fuel and you're like, all right, we'll make it through this, no problem. This isn't that bad. But you start going the wrong distance, you start putting in
Going
more.
out over the ocean more.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of fuel. You're gonna put that puppy right in the ocean.
Right.
What about the ships that come back with no one on them? But
Ghost ship.
yeah, like because that's happened where like these boats go into the Bermuda and then comes back and there's no one. Then you can't find anybody.
That's the Kraken right there.
Anybody like the boat's empty, but there's no
The
one.
liquor,
The
bottle.
liquor Kraken.
That's the rum.
Yeah.
Boy, they all got drunk and fell
Yeah,
over.
the Bermuda Triangle is pretty big though. I want to say
It goes from like Cuba
Yeah.
to I don't know, but it's a big
It goes
area.
from Cuba
Yeah,
to
we're
the
not-
ocean.
We're not
Fucking
swimming
bad.
against it, pretty much. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, this guy
large.
that, like
It's
you were
large.
saying, his stuff went crazy. So I can see what you're saying about the whole compass. Maybe he got turned around because he comes to like when he finally flies through this random foggy area where he's, supposedly this Bermuda Triangle is at. He was like 50 or 100 miles away from where he was actually supposed to be going.
Yeah.
He was in the opposite direction of where he should.
it's just like when you start diving down in water and you're trying to come back up, you get all twisted sometimes and you keep going down.
Yeah. Drive down.
You drive down. Yeah.
I don't get out of my car.
I just noticed
That's
that.
what happened.
Yeah. That's an actual Les Paul.
It is. It's an Epiphone. It's not a Gibson.
Okay.
But it's a recreation of the '56 Gold Top, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says the. Yeah,
Epiphone Les Paul.
yeah, you're right. 56 gold top.
But I do like the solid wood body of the Les Paul. It's got
phenomenal.
that solid feel to it.
Yes.
So yeah,
Good deal.
Yeah.
What about Atlantis? You guys know about that a little bit?
I know a little bit about it. I know that they've found walkways and things, and I definitely think that there was a city of Atlantis.
I think so. I think it probably sunk at one point.
I mean, that's the thing is like there could be very
Well, they found a city. It was like off the coast of Japan or something. They dove down and there's like temples and shit down there.
Crazy.
I mean, I could see, you think about the way ground can shift sometimes from the volcanic activity or earthquakes.
What was
I
it?
could see it.
What was it originally? The way that they say the Earth used to be. What was it called?
Pangea.
Pangea.
Pangea,
Yeah. So
yeah.
before
Right,
that,
right.
obviously I can see, maybe there was an Atlantis, and once everything started kind of shifting, shit got lost.
The dinosaur time.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Land of the Lost. if you
Yes.
will.
Will Ferrell.
I
Or
love
there's
that
an
show.
older one.
Do you
too.
guys remember
There was
the
no.
old
I
show?
remember the old one.
Yeah.
But I'm also 40.
Well, I remember that one too. It was was it live action, right?
Land of the Lost. Yeah.
But the dinosaurs were atrocious. I mean, they were like
Back then, though,
animatronic. or
back then,
whatever.
I thought it looked so cool.
Yeah. Do you remember the sitcom with the dinosaur family?
Oh yeah, dinosaur.
Not
the mama?
Was it? Yeah, not the mama.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You probably don't remember.
You
that.
you don't know. Oh, it
Not
was,
the baby. That's what it is.
Not the baby. Yeah, it was
It's
a
called
great
Dinosaurs.
show. Yeah, it was
Yes.
like a real sitcom, wasn't it?
Yes.
And yeah,
Do you guys think dinosaurs can still exist?
Hell yeah.
today I think all we need is to bring them back with a little DNA.
Do you
Sturgeon. There's sturgeon. Those are prehistoric.
I got dinosaurs right now. You have a big dinosaur at home.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought
Yeah,
that up.
squirt.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just
squirt.
squirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
weird.
yeah. Birds, dinosaurs for sure.
Yeah, they are. They're.
But do you believe like a T-Rex and shit like
Is a big chicken? Yeah.
could come back?
giant chicken?
That's
Look,
a
watch a
giant
chicken
chicken.
run around. Tell me it's not a fucking T-Rex.
Yeah, it's gonna
Right.
get your ass.
Well, they say they were like birds. That
Watch a
Oh, yeah.
bird,
Raptor.
any bird, walk up to you
Yeah.
and see that look in their eye and tell me it's not a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, dude.
look at him trying
I
to be
mean,
all big.
Have you
Yeah.
seen like squirt for sure, probably because of how big his eyes are. Like when they look at you and their little pupil like kind of dilates and contracts. Like, wow, you're a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, it's badass. That's just all there is to it.
Right.
Alligators.
Crocodiles. Yeah. Freaking. What do you call them? Those guys. You know what I'm talking about?
Squirrels. Yeah, I got
squirrels, chipmunks. You know those little guys.
I think there's like there's probably other fish. Like I do think megalodon's still around.
That'd be kind of
You
cool.
do. You think the Meg's still
I
ocean
wish
is
the Meg were
the
still
ocean's so huge, and we've only discovered
What's that?
Iguana? Was that what you're looking for?
lizards. Yeah.
No, I was thinking of the
Bermuda
little
triangles and shit.
they're so gross. The little guys that run around and hide under your fridge.
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches. They're not dinosaurs, but I mean they're prehistoric. They come from that
Oh yeah, for
time.
sure.
Is what I'm getting at. But I
They'll
couldn't
be
think of
here
a fucking
even
word.
after we're gone.
So you think there's a 50-foot shark still swimming out there
Somewhere.
somewhere?
I want to believe it.
Hey,
I want to too. Just
there
like I
was a
wanna play
silverback gorilla.
Oh,
Fuck
Right?
yeah, there was.
So,
But not 50 feet long.
Hey, do we know?
No, we
how
don't.
much of the
There
ocean
was a
have
movie.
we? How much of the ocean have we actually discovered? 3%.
More of the outer
The
space.
outer space.
I think we've only discovered 3% of the ocean.
Last year, I
That's
started
unbelievable.
teaching a unit to the kids on the ocean, and I learned more about the ocean than I ever knew. I was totally unaware of just how deep the ocean is.
Oh, it's crazy deep.
It is.
Like the Mariana Trench is
The
That's
bigger
deepest,
than
Megalodon.
Everest.
bigger than Everest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruising altitude of an airplane is
The pressure down there.
lower.
Well,
than
what's
the
crazy
depth
is
of the
like
ocean.
they've discovered fish and shit deep in the fucking.
And actually, there
waters.
is gigantism, which is something that happens at those deep pressures. Their body chemistry changes, the physiology of their bodies changes to create larger creatures
Giant squid.
to survive. Giant squid,
Which
those types
wasn't
of
the
things.
Kraken.
They didn't
Right.
think
They
was
didn't
real
believe that was real
Yeah.
until they caught one.
until it came to the shore
Right.
head.
It was like
Right.
And
how
then they
many
got one
feet
on
was
video.
it? It was like crazy.
90 or something,
Yeah,
100.
It's very,
some
very
bullshit.
big.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Can you
but-
imagine being out
two-
there fishing? All of a sudden, this big
2
ass
feet?
fucking
Right.
squid comes out.
Oh boy, I'd fuck one up so fast.
No,
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, fucking karate chop him right in the back.
This big ass little fucking tentacle. just
But what about
hit
their
your boat.
beaks? Their
Their
beaks.
beaks are huge.
That's scary.
And then their eyeballs as big as a basketball.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
and seriously,
Oh,
a
right.
fucking bird beak,
Yeah, the bird.
basically
beak.
where you think their ass should be.
Yeah.
What a fucked up animal.
Yes. it
Right,
is.
and then it squirts fucking ink.
And then it squirts ink.
Yeah.
We
Beautiful.
when I was in 7th grade, when I moved to Washington, I went to Snoqualmie Middle School, and we dissected a squid.
Mm.
And I remember like messing with the little ink sac they had in there and shit.
Yeah,
That was
crazy.
a trip.
Yeah.
Signing my name with it. Me and my friend.
Oh, popped its little ball sack. It was,
Yeah.
The whales are another reason they thought that there was giant squid too, because they were.
yeah. They would get
Markers.
the big marks, right?
Yeah.
right. Because they do. Actually, the baleen whales will dive down super, super deep. And that's where the squid are because they eat the squid. And, they're huge. Now, I guess not baleen whales. These are the blue whales, right?
Like the humpback blue whale.
Yeah, it's a toothed whale. But anyway, it dives super deep. And they eat the
I
squid.
think it's a
Well,
sperm whale.
I think you're right.
Yep.
And they get into a fight with these guys. And,
I'd like to see that. That'd be crazy.
dude,
Sperm or the whale?
It's both.
Okay.
I've seen sperm. I
I've
want to
seen
see the whale.
Yeah.
I've seen a sperm fight.
Yeah, that's old shit. Yeah.
That was
I
on
want
Pornhub.
some, I
I've
want
seen that
some,
shit.
but but
No,
yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't know. Sea monsters would be friggin' nuts.
Well, think about this. 50-foot shark being real. Technically, there is a 50-foot shark.
You're right. You're right. It's the what's that fucking shark?
Whale shark.
The whale shark.
Alright.
Very docile shark.
Yes, it is. You can go swimming with the sucker.
But
yeah.
what if it suddenly isn't?
Then you're getting
It's
eaten.
aggressive as like a great white.
What if the genetic code changes and all of a sudden
What if it gets it on with a great white? Boom, 50-foot megalodon.
Boom.
right?
Yeah.
What if megalodon was nice though? It was just nice.
What is nice? Little shark, big shark.
Baby shark, like the baby
No,
shark.
megalodon is probably a nice ass shark.
Yeah, not
It's
like
always
bull shark.
it's
all
always the
pissed
Just-
small. Yeah, it's always the
just-
small guys.
off. Yeah.
Just
angry.
very curious.
He's angry.
Yeah.
He's just coming to check you out. It's not his
I don't
fault
wanna
he
fight.
ate your arm.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm only aggressive.
Isn't
because
that
you
funny
fucking
about the
with
great
me."
whites? Like, you watch the slow-mo videos, they attack, and like, oh, fuck, that wasn't what I thought it was, and let's go, and this thing's still bleeding out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're 90 rows.
So sorry, they keep going back to the family. Still, did I mention I'm sorry?
Oh, my bad.
The bull sharks are dicks. They just
They
keep
are.
coming back.
They'll fucking swim the river to bite your ass.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that is the scary thing about bull shark.
You wanna
Well,
know-
you can find them in the river and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you wanna-
can swim miles up.
So you
fresh
know,
water.
from them going from salt, to the fresh water, whatever,
Mhm.
switching that is like us going breathing out in space.
Right.
That's
Isn't
what's
that
in-
insane?
That is insane.
They should
crazy.
not be able to do that.
No,
They can't.
That is fucked
They
up.
can survive for quite a while in the
That's
river.
pretty impressive.
Actually, the
Yeah.
original Jaws, you all know the story of that. It was a bull shark.
Yes, I do.
And it was
He was
in
just not big
canals
enough.
and everything. He just wasn't a big enough guy.
Yeah, so they had to get the
They had a little bit of a problem down below.
Sorry, buddy.
They call
You
it.
got the anger. You just don't got the girth.
Yeah, that's what you call a stunt cock. Bring him in. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna trade you out with a great white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
we know
bring
what the audience wants.
Yeah. The fluffer.
They want to see the big one.
Yeah. Get
I
him
don't
in
want to
there.
see this little guy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Get him out of here.
That's what they did with that show, right? That movie. No
Stunt
doubt.
cock.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that movie?
Stunt cock? What
It
is
was pretty much.
Yeah.
Orgasmo.
Orgasmo.
Orgasmo. My
Yeah.
brother-
Stunt cock. Get the stunt cock.
Dude, I haven't watched that movie
Oh,
since it came out.
I love it. It's so funny.
It's so
Every
That-
night, watch it.
that scene where he's like, God, if you don't want me to make this movie, just give me a sign. Any sign. And there's an earthquake and the Jesus statue breaks.
Just any sign.
Any sign at all.
Is that a Trey Parker movie?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Matt Stone, Trey Parker. Yeah.
Like
They're,
basketballs.
like
Oh.
basketball, yeah.
Basketballs are great. But you guys are talking about sea monsters, Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you believe Loch Ness is real?
I think the Loch Ness Monster is a giant eel, personally.
A giant
yeah.
eel.
I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see
That's
that.
what I think because
Was that in Scotland? Or-
yeah,
Scotland in a lake, right?
yeah.
A very
Loch Ness.
large
But here's one of the things about that lake. Obviously, that lake used to be part of the ocean,
right?
so that's why they think one of those creatures or whatever the heck they call that, I can't remember,
Yeah.
got in there, got stuck. Now it's just eating all the fish in there this whole time, and it can survive. But it's been way too long.
Unless there's more than one.
Yeah, then they can reproduce.
And they
blah, blah,
reproduce.
blah,
But
have
how
puppies.
large is the Loch Ness Lake? I have no
Is it
clue. Is
pretty
it
sizable?
the size of like
I think yours
the
is
Great
pool
Lakes
back here.
or
You've got to be the size of your pool.
the pool?
No, I don't know.
Easily, there could be a family of eel.
Yeah,
3.
yeah. I-
Easily,
But they
very
did,
small eel. Yeah,
they did find out that there is a shit pot of eels in that lake.
really.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, which is a pot of shit.
A pot of shit,
A
the
pot
size of
shit.
an eel.
Size of an eel. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Eel.
Which is large.
Oh,
That's my guess. Which
Huh.
I've been
damn.
wrong.
Well, that makes sense.
I've been wrong once before, so,
So
I could be
Loch
again.
Ness is pretty big.
Is it
21
comparable-
miles.
Is it? How big are the Great Lakes? And they're
Great Lakes.
huge.
They're
right?
huge. Where actually they can have that Fitzgerald ship. Okay, I don't know how big
Mm.
that Fitzgerald ship, but it was
Edmund
those
Fitzgerald, it
waves.
was like 150 feet.
So the waves are so big on that when it cracked, it was up on 2 waves, and the center was off. Nothing was in between it.
Yeah,
They span 750 miles, the Great Lakes.
750.
Way more.
Okay.
A little bigger.
And that's
Yeah, that's the
21
stunt.
miles.
That's the stunt cock lake.
yeah.
Loch
Great
Ness-
Lakes are the stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like
Let's go to those.
Nessie wants to relocate.
Yeah, let's go to those. Those are a lot cooler. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't think they were that big.
They're huge. They're like an ocean. I mean, like they're so big.
Yeah.
They're not like an ocean. I don't mean it
Yeah,
like
well, I know what
literally,
you mean.
like if you were to stand on the shore,
You can't
it
see.
would just
You can't
look.
see, no.
I mean, they could almost be called seas.
Oh, another thing about the flat Earth theory earlier is one of the main theories is when you look off in the distance into an ocean,
You should be
as
able
the
to
ship goes off,
Yeah.
it starts disappearing.
Yeah, because the Earth has that curvature, so you start seeing less and less of the whole boat. But if it was flat Earth,
You should see it.
you should see the whole boat the whole way.
So this is the counter to.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the
Because I
Earth,
tend to agree that it's bullshit.
So
I
if
really
it was
have a hard
flat,
time.
you would see the boat same size the whole way.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it'd get smaller.
Every time your relatives went on a cruise, wouldn't they fall off the edge of the earth and not come back?
Yes, because there's that cruise over in.
I mean, I unless we're living in the Truman Show,
Which
and
would
it's
be
all
kinda
just a
crazy.
studio. I mean,
Well, like I was
now
telling
the
you, like
thoughts on it.
people in the flat Earth believe that there's like
A dome.
it's something like a dome, because you can't. They were talking about Antarctica being like the edge, right?
Yes.
And like, because military, I think only military can go there or something. Like, there's like a treaty, and
Well, that's
the
where Santa
Antarctic
lives,
something
really.
treaty.
That's Santa's real home.
No,
Yeah.
South America.
Down south.
Yeah.
It's the
Santa lives down the street from me.
He lies. He says that he's in the North
No,
Pole.
Santa. He lives on.
Yeah,
he
you're
lives
right.
up the street from my house.
I have seen him.
I've seen him during the summer times mowing his yard.
Then where the fuck's the presents?
He actually drives.
But he's not around in the winter. It's crazy.
Huh.
I don't
Every
see him.
November and December, he's
Big
gone.
Dave's. He's actually a for truckers. He has a pilot business. The guy that looks like Santa. There's this guy that lives just up the street from me that looks. He's Santa fucking Claus. But he has like a pilot cars and shit that he does for truckers.
Mm-hmm.
But I only see him like in the summertime. I've never seen him in the winter. I don't know. But no, he has the big beard. He has the gut. Like, he looks like Santa.
That's awesome. I'm working towards it.
It's my ultimate goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
One day. That's why I'm growing this out.
Yeah, I have the fat. I just need more white.
I noticed a fancy comb for the beard. That's pretty fancy stuff. Where'd you get that one?
Walmart.
Really?
Only the fanciest of the fancy.
Yeah, my wife bought it for me.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll end up trimming my beard shorter, and then I won't use it. It's just sometimes I grow it out, and then I'll comb it out.
So do you guys believe in the ghost?
In ghosts?
So
yes.
I believe that there's ghosts or there's something. I've never seen one though.
See, that's the thing is I'm one of those. I'm in that spot. I don't disbelieve. I don't not believe, and I don't believe. Like, I have no evidence either way to know.
I want to.
So I'm open-minded to it. Because do I know I've been creeped out before? Yes. My dad had a story from his personal experience, and my dad is not outside of ancient aliens and all that stuff.
I just shared with you. Not believing you.
Maybe my dad is crazier than I thought, but no, he claims when he was in high school, he came home one day, never had experienced anything in his life, never experienced anything again. He came home, got a Coke from the fridge, and sat down at the table after his basketball practice. And as he's opening the Coke and takes a drink, the water in the kitchen turns on. And he went over and turned it off, and then left. I don't remember if he said it turned on again, or if he turned it off and that was just like, I'm not staying here.
My brother and sister have a story, and it's weird because this is when we lived in Seattle. Well, they still live over there, but so when I was living over there, so it was at one point it was I think my brother and I's room, and then it was my sister's room, or vice versa. I don't know, but it's the same bedroom that this story comes from. Is my sister said she woke up and there was a guy in a black hat sitting in the corner of the room with like a coat and everything, and she, obviously was freaked out, but never said anything. And then one day, my brother tells the same story. She never told no one this story about this guy in a black hat sitting in the corner of the same room. And that's when my sister's like, no fucking way. That shit happened to me. I seen the same shit. And I was like, you guys suck, man. I don't see shit. I don't see nothing.
Did you guys ever do research on the house to see if that's...
You know what? Never. I never did, actually, no. I didn't have Google then either, so I wouldn't even know where to go. I should look it up now.
America was the old.
I'm gonna have to go to fucking Microfiche.
Dude,
do you remember that shit?
How freaked would you be if you look this up and there's like a dude picture that what she's seen or
with a hat,
dude, that'd be
murdered in that house.
I don't have a pen on me, but I'm gonna have to write down my old address to look it up.
Well, I know my dad lived in an old house in Kennewick, so it probably had somebody die there at some point. But
oh yeah.
Have you had any ghost experiences?
Me, no, okay. Not well. I don't know. Never know.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I'm kind of open to it for sure. I've never seen it myself, so I can't.
You can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, just like everything else in this world, somewhat.
But you have an open mind that there might be something.
I definitely wouldn't mind looking and asking questions and doing all that jazz.
Same.
and trying to communicate, and you don't want to communicate with the wrong stuff, and all this kind of stuff.
Like, no, I'm not a ghost. I am Satan. So.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Hello.
I'm out of here. That's pretty much where that was.
Well, did you hear the thing about the White House? There was a first lady that apparently lost a child. I don't remember which first lady it was, but a child died. I don't think it was like a Lincoln or anybody like that. But she held a seance, and they claimed that there was a negative spirit that entered the White House at that point, and they are still dealing with it. That's what they're. That's what they're claiming. Like
I don't know. I believe like we talked off air or whatever. I grew up pretty religious, and I've always questioned a lot of that stuff. But then at the same time, it's like I don't the devil and that shit. That'd be kind of crazy. And
that side of it's scary because if ghosts are real, then I would imagine that the other side of that coin is also real.
My mom tells me
that's some scary stuff. If you know people that have been on drugs,
my mom,
like people that have been on methamphetamine and stuff like that, like I've known some people that had some dark pasts, and they would talk about shit they experienced when on the drugs when they got to the point they realized they had to stop. Like it's very common for people to see demonic stuff. It's very common for them to have these like similar experiences.
It's probably their own demonic demons within them.
But I mean, or something. Maybe it is just societal. Maybe it's just like the connection of like bad things, like demon. So we see the manifestation of a demon. I don't know if it's psychology.
I've had these not night terrors, but I woke up sleep paralysis. I can't move, right?
Scary. Oh.
I'm like awake, but I'm not awake, but I can't move. And my wife's had to wake me up and shake me before. And like you can't breathe. It's a fucking weird feeling, but it'll always be followed by these weird, the most weird, like realistic, like not a vision, but I guess it would just be something fucking freaky. Like one time,
you're scared afterwards.
Like I heard the doorbell ring, right, and I was like, "Someone's at the door." The doorbell's ringing. My wife's like, "No one rang the doorbell," but it like to me, it's just it literally sounded like someone was at the door.
It's like you're
like for real. Like I'm awake. It's like a hallucination almost. Yeah. One time, I freaked my wife out when I told her this one. This one I lived in Richland. She's like, I go, "What the fuck?" Some lady's hand was just in my face. Like this girl was right here in my face. Her hand was right there, and she just went back into the closet. I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" I'm like, "I'm just saying, this is what I just seen. Like this is."
She's grabbing the blankets and leaving the room. Fuck you, Jesse.
I know, but like obviously, I fell back asleep because I'm just for me, I just think it's just. Fucking in half sleep, half awake, kind of one of those weird zones. But it's always been something freaky.
But what if you're in that zone to see? Like, what if your mind?
So I started looking up during this whole time when I was getting these a lot. Like, what do they call it? It's like I forget what kind of sleep it's called. Lucid dreams almost. But there's these ones where you could you have like an outer body experience. Like you can somehow, apparently, when I was reading it, you can train your body to think it's asleep, but your spirit leaves your body. So you ever watch like Doctor Strange, the movie? You know how she pushes him out of his body. Astral projection. That's the word I'm looking for. So apparently you could do this, but you got to be careful because you're now the spirit world. And so it was pretty trippy thing, and I was like, I tried it a couple times to see if I can do it. I can never do it. Yeah. I don't know, but there's a famous a person who is famous for having these astral projections and doing this stuff. I'll have to look up his name, but yeah, it's pretty true. Like he went to another world apparently. So I have a hard time believing some of this stuff, but
sure.
But it is fun to hear.
It's fun to hear. That's the thing is like, can we say it's not true? No. Can we say that it is? No. But hey, it's out.
Here's another thing is like the alien factor. Like, are they real? I 100% think they are.
Mathematically, they have to be.
They have to be, but are they here?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Have they come here?
Is there advanced life? That's another thing. How advanced are they? Are they more advanced than us? Are they like us? Are we Are we something that's super unique? Which we got to be. You've heard of the Goldilocks zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the planet's got to be in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Not too far away from the sun, not too close.
Right.
They're finding so many Earth-like planets.
Yes. Yeah.
And what I also
just in a small amount of outer space. Yeah.
Like this much.
Right.
And what I also think is that's life as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's life that is as we don't.
Outside of our mental construct of what is
like another dimension. That's what I think ghosts. That's my ghost theory.
Your ghost theory
is that it's another dimension. It's like another life that we don't know. Like,
well, did you
we're
ever
either
see
seeing in the past or the
Nicole
future?
Kidman, where she is being haunted in her house? She lives in her house and she's being haunted. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was a while ago. And the entire movie, like, she's being treated like she's going insane because she keeps seeing these ghosts. At the end of the movie, you find out she's the ghost.
Yes, I have seen that.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of trippy, but yeah, it is older.
Well, see, that's kind of the theory I feel like.
It could be. Well, and they...
Were you thinking?
I mean, one of the theories about the Big Bang that made sense to me, that I thought was interesting, was the idea of planes, right? Like, if you think of space as like they use one of those like really stretchy pieces of material, whatever it's called, and they would put a weight in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. And then they would release a ball and they would show how it all rotates. Heavy masses weigh down space-time, the fabric of space-time. If you get enough mass consolidated into one spot, you get a rip. And it's almost like these layers of space-time over each other. So they theorize so much mass was protruding down that eventually it exploded out onto a new plane. And that changed the trajectory from everything being pulled in to shooting out. And that's the explosion that we know of as the Big Bang. Yeah. I thought, okay, well, that kind of explains where it came from initially. This is one thing that we've talked about on air. The whole thing about God or no God, or on either side of that, where did everything come from? How does something have a beginning and not have a beginning? No matter how you look at it, either side does not fully explain anything. It's very scary.
It's kind of cool to think about, though.
Was it aliens?
I do believe aliens.
And then what created the aliens?
Aliens.
More aliens.
Isn't it? Doesn't the logical answer? Isn't it a evolution?
What if it's just us evolved? We were here at one time, and we said, "Fuck this planet." We evolved, went somewhere else. That's why, like, we have all this lost technology.
What if it is the future
or the stragglers?
Yeah. We're like the dummy down version of what was here at one time.
What if humans evolve and they go ahead?
Well, because we're always trying to go out of space. No,
backwards.
Well, we're trying to go to Mars. Earth. Well, no, we're trying to go to Mars, and we're trying to live on like the moon and shit. So who's to say that at one point in life that didn't happen?
Is this what you're getting at, though? Are the aliens future humans that have evolved beyond where we are, and they're coming back to check on the past because they think maybe they can stop some fucked up shit we're about to do?
Well, what I think
in history.
What I think is messed up though too about us is we're trying to go to Mars, right?
Yeah.
Why are we trying to go there? We're ruining our planet,
and we won't do anything about it. Right.
Yeah, so let's go ruin another planet.
Right. Instead of solving the problem,
and they've talked about like actually like going to that planet and giving it like an ecosystem, trying to like revitalize what used to be there. Apparently, right. Why can't you just do that here?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think they need
because there's a lot of money.
Well, that's a lot of money to go to space.
I know.
What I think is one thing that we got to really look into, I personally think, is stop asteroids from coming down and hitting Earth. I think that's something they should make pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be more of a concern. You don't want to have that happen.
Yeah.
There's some pretty massive like asteroids that are like
pass by closely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like huge.
Yeah, we need more than one Barry Bonds to hit it away. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we need someone not juiced up.
Yeah.
No steroids in that game.
Yeah, shoot. No, that's what I think needs to be a big concern for sure.
Yeah.
We need to worry about what we have here, saving what we have here, and all that jazz.
That's too much work.
Let's go
somewhere else.
Let's throw it in the trash. Screw it.
Well, hey, I mean,
we'll have Tesla, and we'll have what's it, Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are going to save America. So don't worry about it. They're going to save the world.
or this podcast. Either one of them.
The podcast.
Buy Amazon and Tesla.
You what?
It said buy Amazon and Tesla. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, okay.
On behalf of the podcast.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we were rousing Jeff Bezos the other day. He's got rocket ships now and the largest yacht in the world.
Yeah, he's getting the largest yacht.
That he might tear a bridge down to get out of a port to have it rebuilt.
Well, no, he's going to tear the bridge down.
He's going to have to.
Yeah, it's like going to cost $600 million. They're thinking somewhere.
Drop in a bucket.
Drop in a bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his boat itself, it's going to be I think they said it's worth $500 million. It's the size of, what was it, 3 football fields or some shit?
It's like a football field and a half at least.
It's huge.
I mean, it's gigantic. This thing
What's his plan with this?
Just to have it.
To have it. It's a yacht.
There's no reason.
You gotta do things, it's a show to glow, right?
Yeah, you got to bring in the.
He's not a shower, so he's got to have some showers,
That's in the story there.
So, I don't know. I would like to ask him personally, like Jeff Bezos.
Because he already has a huge fucking yacht. Like, his yacht now is huge.
Wouldn't that be a ship at this point?
I think it
looks like
at what point is a yacht not a yacht?
There's got to be a
No,
line.
remember I showed you it looks like a pirate
it
ship.
has sails.
Yeah, it has 3 masts.
Yeah.
They don't call where you get out in the
Right.
ocean
cruise.
They don't call that
Like
a
an
yacht,
ocean
do they?
liner.
Right.
It's an ocean liner.
Well, they let poor people on those. I think if it's a rich person boat, it's called
It's a yacht.
Yeah.
Okay.
no matter the size. You just
Okay.
call it.
Yeah, I'll never be.
You know what? If I ever get
Yeah,
a
right.
boat, no matter the size, it's going to be a yacht.
I'm gonna call it a yacht.
Yeah.
My kayak, it's a yacht.
It's a
I'm just gonna name it yacht.
Yeah. I'm taking the yacht out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what I call my kayak.
You
as
are
well.
pedaling, sir.
Yeah.
No, that's my motor. I'm the motor.
Self-propelled.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know he had the building that giant of a yacht.
Yeah, it's huge. It has it looks like a pirate ship. Like it honestly does. It has 3 masts that's going to be on it.
It's motorized as well, but if
Yeah.
if they can utilize the wind, he's very focused on the earth.
Have you guys heard of the Queen Mary? Right?
Yeah. It's a big ass fucking.
That's also very haunted.
They don't call that. Yeah. They don't call that a yacht.
No, they don't call that a yacht. They
No.
call that a cruise liner, a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
different.
have you guys heard about that story where it ran over that British ship?
I want to say that I have heard something about that.
So that ship, it used to be a military deal, right? Where
Okay.
it would take sick patients, and a
Yeah.
lot of people have passed away on that
Yep,
ship and
yep,
whatnot. Anyhow, I don't know what they were going through, if it was fog or not. Anyhow, they took out that British ship and killed everybody on that ship.
Jesus.
And that Queen Mary just went right through it.
Like nothing.
Yeah, like
Oops.
like that was insane. So yeah, that's supposed to be very, very haunted too, as well.
I can see that. So not only did it have people die on it, being a hospital ship.
I think in the movie Ghost Ship, we talked about that.
Right.
boat.
I think they based it on the Queen Mary.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why I was like,
right? Like that.
Yeah, that yacht.
ghost ship.
Yeah,
That small yacht.
That's
yeah, yacht ship.
when I get rich enough, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get me something that's like a carrier boat.
Yeah, an aircraft carrier.
It's just gonna be a yacht for me.
Yeah.
Take golf balls off of it.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be the dream.
Right.
Right.
Remember I Am Legend when he was doing that?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sweet.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Good
Zombies
movie, good
and
movie.
golf balls. Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you believe in zombies?
I want to.
I don't know if I
I want one day to kill some zombies.
Right.
And I want to wake up and not have to do it anymore.
want.
Like, I don't feel like I have to stay with it, to actually fight zombies.
Like, no.
Can you imagine, what would the freak out level be if instead of COVID it was like a zombie
I don't know if there would be. Everyone's ready for the zombie apocalypse.
outbreak? I think now, as long as I don't have to wear masks, people are like, okay, I'm good with it.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, there's a lot of. I think it could be possible. Something like that happening in somebody. It's a type of sickness or something
Right.
like that.
Well,
Well, rabies
if it starts anywhere, it's going to start in Florida.
Absolutely. They already had the man that ate the face in Florida. You remember that story?
Yes.
I mean, I swear to God,
He
I
was
was
on that
thinking
flocka.
oh my God, are we going to have a real
This dude
zombie
was like
apocalypse?
high off of like.
This
called
guy
flocka or
was
something
riding
like that.
his bike, right?
Yeah.
And this crazy guy was standing, he was on the drug flocka. And I don't know much about
It's
it.
like bath salts and shit.
It fucks your brain out.
I remember this.
Yeah, he attacked the biker and ate his face. By the time they got there, his face was completely consumed. And they were like, what the fuck? They radio in like, he ate this guy's face.
Well, there's a
Ate his
fungus
face.
that
right?
there's
Well,
a fungus that gets into ants, like
Oh yeah, the zombie ants. Yeah.
and it like controls these ants.
Yep.
So I can see something.
It is, yeah, it does. It changes their brain where they crave flesh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rabies. People act like zombies when they're infected with rabies.
You show me the nearest taco truck, I start acting that way as
Yeah.
myself.
Right. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a disease. Just don't let me eat for a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 5 minutes actually.
Right. I'm angry if I don't eat for a day.
I am too.
Yeah.
I get hangry.
Yes, for sure.
My wife will tell you.
Yeah.
If we're out and about and we're going shopping or something, I'm like, babe, I'm hungry. She's like, oh, fuck, I gotta feed you.
You gotta go now.
Here's the Snickers.
You don't like being angry.
Foot to the floor.
You act like Jeff Bezos when you're angry.
Start buying boats and shit. Tearing down bridges.
Well, shit, I bought
that is not a yacht.
No.
If it's bigger than a football field, I think it's officially a ship.
It's
right?
a ship.
Yeah.
If you have to have a crew to run this motherfucker.
See, they do. They have like a captain and an assistant captain and like a mechanic crew and
vice president. And all that stuff.
Well, what about the crab boats? They're not called yachts.
No, they're not.
And they're not.
They're not vessels.
And it's nowhere near the size of a fucking his yacht.
But see, they're blue collar.
Oh yeah, it's different.
We're talking white collar, posh wealth.
Yeah, kind of like us, for sure.
Not like
I'm gonna have to Google.
Oh, not like us.
I'm gonna Google that, what the difference
we're not
is.
good enough to have a yacht. So
What makes it a yacht? That's what I want to find out.
Money.
That's it.
Wealth. Your wealth. If Jeff Bezos bought the biggest piece of shit,
that's what
20-foot boat, it'd be called a yacht.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's how it works. But.
Well, you got the money, I guess. What the hell?
Yeah. Hey, spend it how you want it. I just seriously, how big is? What are you gonna do? How many dinner parties are you gonna have on this yacht? At some point, what are you gonna do?
I won't allow anybody on it.
Right? Oh, I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Just the captain and the
just the people that I need, the 800 people I need to run it. That's
and a chef.
That's why I call them my paid friends.
Right? I mean, at that point, you might as well just get yourself a cruise liner.
Well, these people are such I'm sorry to say, but they're just douchebags anyway. Did you ever see that Life on the High Seas or whatever, where they would go into yacht owners' yachts and they would show off their lifestyle? They have these pass-through kitchen deals so that you don't actually have to see the servants that are giving you your food.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I do not.
And these people, I think, were in Coeur d'Alene. They weren't even that far away. And they had this big boat, and they're like, if you want to just lay in bed and not be bothered, they can slip your coffee right in through this thing. I'm like, oh, so that way you don't have to deal with the riffraff.
Dude, I would fuck with their food so
I would
much.
pee in their coffee.
Hell yeah.
I'd poop in there.
Whatever. You want some creamer?
Oh, that tastes
I got some creamer for you.
Yeah. Shit, this is great. This kept me up all night. I don't know.
Excuse me, ma'am. Does the creamer taste familiar to you?
Why is it so fruity? I've been eating a lot of pineapple.
Yeah.
Ask your wife how that feels.
Yeah, I'd be reading up on what makes it taste bad. Okay.
Oh boy.
Right? More coffee.
More coffee.
So bitter. Bitter bean juice.
That's crazy.
But no, I think we can
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna. Sorry, real quick.
No, go for it. Go for it.
So the whole alien deal.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about an alien? So, the Greys, they say.
There's the Greys, the lizard, or no, is it
Lizard people.
Yeah, lizard people, I believe. So what do you think about them being more of an artificial intelligence and not an actual being like us that are traveling that far? Because that's currently what we're doing.
Well, isn't Elon Musk the first generation of that?
Possibly. But how we're sending stuff to Mars, it's not actually us.
Right.
We're sending our rover there. Our technology, what we got. So what if they're doing that on a way higher level?
Oh, like AI type shit.
Because we eventually, if we have
I could see that.
They're not going to send us 3 across space if we we find out how to time travel.
Right. We got to travel 3,000 light years.
They're not going to put the monkey
robot over here.
Yeah, they're going to put a robot in there,
right.
And it's going to be super advanced. It's going to be because if you look at a typical gray alien, it's not a blue collared working thing.
No.
Right.
It looks like it's made to work a computer.
Yeah.
Made to fly a ship.
Yeah.
It's long fingers. It's weird looking.
Long little 3 fingers.
Yeah, it solely looks like it's made
very
to do
large
that.
eyes, right?
Yeah, no mouth. It doesn't eat. Well, it might eat. We don't know. We don't know shit about this, but
It might eat through its anus.
Yeah, it's got a beak probably.
Nuts and bolts.
Probably does.
Yeah, probably got a beak like a squid.
That we could.
I don't know.
How fucking
Hung like
He
a
has
horse.
He has a little tiny mouth.
He does. Your guy.
I got my little gray alien right there. He's green.
a little itty bitty
Well,
nose.
there's one back there the whole time, and you don't say a damn word.
He's just hiding behind there.
Well, you know they're tricky.
Yeah. He's
That
got
artificial.
Come out. Come out.
That could be.
You can explain a lot.
Can you
now.
imagine a little alien just walked out?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy though. I don't know. I can see that it's some kind of
Artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
sure. And then they were like talking at the Congress of the aliens, and they're like, we don't want to make it scary, so let's make it look kind of people-ish, but not so much like a person that they like think is a human.
Let's make it look like a bitch.
Let's make it gray,
Yeah.
dickless, totally dickless. Let's
Yeah.
hide the beak deep up inside of the ass so that
Yeah.
they're not afraid.
I'm gonna have to look up the one where they were saying they were like some guy like a Bob Lazar type person where they were working with like aliens from other planets, but apparently got attacked or something.
What's his name? Bob Lazar.
Yeah, look this.
It's
Okay,
pretty
I
tricky.
wrote it down. Balbazar.
Bob Lazar. No, I think that was a demon in the Bible.
No, but they
It's
also
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
also one of the crazy things he says that he's actually seen an alien as well in that S4 base.
Okay. I wonder if it's the same guy I'm
alien.
thinking about.
Yeah,
That someone who was at a base or something got attacked though, and they lived to tell the tale, but they have like scarring from it. From apparently the firefight that happened.
crazy.
Man.
Interesting feller.
Yeah.
Balbazar. Not Balbazar.
No,
Okay.
that was I think that's an angel or something.
Balthazar?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Or something from Harry Potter. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, I don't know how you worked out it.
You know,
Are you guys Star Wars fans, by the way?
I like Star
A
Wars.
little bit. I like it.
A little bit.
I'm not super knowledgeable, but I've watched them.
Okay. Just out of curiosity.
Mandalorian and stuff.
You did? Okay.
I haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett yet.
The Fat Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's good.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Yeah, on occasion.
Okay.
Yeah, Star
No
Wars.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good
Star
flick.
Wars. Like I had my wife watch. Have you watched that movie? God, what is the movie? They're Star Wars fans, but they're going to go watch like Episode 1. Fanboys,
I have not seen that.
dude, you gotta watch that movie.
I thought you were gonna say Jay and Silent Bob for some reason.
No, I think they might be in it, but no, the Fanboys. It's a hilarious movie. It's really good, but they're like big time Star Wars fans, and so the thing is they're going to go try to watch Episode 1 before it actually gets released for their friend, and then they run into like Trekkies. And there's this whole like beef with them. Seth Rogen was in it.
Oh wow.
He was like a small role in it. He's one of the Trekkies. It's a fucking. It's a great movie.
What do you think's better, that Star Wars or Star Trek?
God, I don't know. I like Star Wars, but
But
they're different to me. One's more
Yeah, it's
sci-fi.
kinda hard to
One's
say.
fantasy, one's sci-fi. To me. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I like the military.
I'd like Star
they're both
Wars
kinda
better
military.
for myself. I like Star Wars better. I grew up liking that.
Because Star Trek, the idea is like it's like a future. It's kind of like the Space Force, right?
It's like
So we're starting
sci-fi.
now.
I think.
So
It's like sci-fi fantasy.
that's kind of a cool angle. But then I guess it's all that same kind of idea with Star Wars, Earth-based, right?
Yeah, kind of. But I don't know. One's different than the other.
I do love.
Think about it. Star Wars is not that far fetched.
No, who knows? It could be like not the craziest thing out there.
Mhm.
I don't think so.
That big fucking fat slug guy. That could be
Jabba.
Jabba the Hutt.
Bigfoot's in there. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty.
Whatever the fuck he sounds like.
Yeah.
True.
True. It's my uncle.
There you go.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
He's in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Harrison Ford's awesome, man.
Yeah, if anybody would be cool to like send out to get the aliens, it'd be Harrison Ford. You get that like that smile he gives and just
He'd get all Indiana
fly an
Jones on
airplane
and
to
shit.
the wrong side of a runway for the aliens and be like, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
So did you guys know a fun fact about Indiana Jones? You know the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know the fight scene where he ends up shooting the
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that was supposed to be a big ass fight scene?
I had heard that. I don't remember.
He just threw that out there.
Did he
He was sick or something, wasn't he?
He was sick, so he decided to shoot the fucker and call it a day.
It's such an iconic.
It's such a
it was supposed to be a big old fight.
Yeah. He just shoots him. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, because he wasn't feeling good.
Dude, I love Indiana Jones. Those type of movies are probably some of my favorite types.
Yeah.
Great.
Treasure hunter.
Such a good, such an interesting. I would love to be a 1930s. What do you call it? Archaeologist. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you believe that there's the Ark of the Covenant?
It could be.
There's been talk about that.
I don't know that it would like do what the mystical stuff, but the idea of a golden box from the ancient times, sure. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is magical.
There's an ancient aliens episode where they talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Well, do you think aliens helped build the pyramids?
I don't know.
My dad does. My dad believes.
So when you watch it, it's like some of the evidence they throw out there. It's really like I can see where they get it.
See, one of the things is
it had to be done so fast.
Yeah, I see both sides. Like, okay, you guys aren't giving those people that much credit. Maybe they're way smarter than you ever thought was possible.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not that dumb back then or anything like that. They're a lot smarter. Or they did get a shitload of technology that helped them out, and shit got built quickly and efficiently, and that was the story. Yeah. You never know.
Because they said they would have to stack a brick every second or something for it to get built as quick as they said it got built. It would have to be like pretty much nonstop. Like pretty much one brick was stacked every.
And you've heard of the water theory, right?
Yeah, it was like a power plant. Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're saying how they built the pyramid, they used water. Like one of the theories was, it's probably debunked at this point. I don't know exactly, but they, water is going to lighten that material up. Yeah. They'll be able to lift it and everything, get it up in place. But then the cuts, how straight they are.
Yeah.
So that's another crazy.
Well, I was telling him about some of the stuff. It's like in Peru or somewhere. Some of these ancient like monoliths, like these stones are so huge that like to stack them on top of each other is crazy because with today's technology, there's no way with the cranes and shit we got, it would take like, I forget how many cranes just to lift these 200-300 ton like rocks on top of each other.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy half the time, so I don't have time to go do that myself.
Yeah.
No.
So it's pretty wild. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a, who knows?
Who knows?
If we can time travel, go back in time.
We'll find out.
Let's
do it.
I've seen some time travelers. Have you seen those YouTube videos where people
claim to be time travelers?
Yeah. It makes me laugh.
Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a time traveler in there. It's kind of cool.
Really?
There is. Yeah.
Is there?
There is.
I must have not got that.
So the really cool thing about Rockstar Games is like they all sort of connect in this like alien time travel kind of thing, and you can unlock like the Mountain of Chiliad in the GTA 5 has a reference to that part of Red Dead Redemption 2. At least that's what people are theorizing, because Rockstar won't comment on any of it.
Of course,
they're just letting it be what it is. But you can unlock cutscenes in both of those games that do sort of connect to each other in this time travel cool. Alien kind of thing. It's pretty neat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to finish
I have not unlocked those things myself, but I've watched YouTube videos where people have.
I'm going to have to play Red Dead again.
Red Dead's pretty cool. Like, you have to go around, and I did get to the point where you go and you find these rock carvings that are like alien-looking rock carvings that this time travel guide tells you to find. And apparently, if you do it and then you unlock something else and then you go to a certain spot on the map at a certain time, you will see an alien spacecraft. And like this light, he goes to this little house, and then there's these crazy lights, and by the time you run outside to see what it is, it's gone.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's neat. I mean, it has something to do with that. And then there's like reference
to Cowboys versus Aliens.
Yeah. Daniel Craig movie.
That was a good flick. That got me hooked, man. You got Cowboys, Aliens. The only thing you're missing in my book is dinosaurs. Throw those puppies in there.
Yeah.
Bigfoot probably popped up around there.
Oh, that too. Shoot. Oh boy.
You got it all.
Yeah, that
was a good movie actually. Look that one up again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's streaming on anything.
Probably.
Something streaming on something.
Yeah.
It's on
Something.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
I have my hacked fire sticks.
There you go.
Totally legal.
Gel rope.
Hey, it's not your fault. You didn't break the gel.
No, I didn't.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, we're about at our time.
Yeah.
Thank you
being
so much
on.
for being here, Dalton.
Yeah.
I think that was great.
You're gonna have to
We
come
had a
on
good
again.
time.
Anytime.
Talked. There's probably so much more alien and.
I'm gonna have to do some research next time.
Seriously, I'm gonna be watching some.
I'm watching it. Well, I was
Ghost
telling my
Hunters
wife
and
about
Ancient Aliens.
this episode, and I was like, she's like, "Well, we're gonna have to stop watching Supernatural and watch some Ancient Aliens." I'm like, all right. So that's what I go to show is Supernatural.
Yeah.
I like watching all that crazy shit. So
Yeah,
We'll do this again.
Yeah, there's a
Today
lot
was
more to bring.
I'll actually, have.
I'll talk about that website that I found. It's called Gods and Monsters.
Oh, not you porn star shit.
No.
No, they-
That's a different one.
Okay.
Furries. We
Okay.
talk about furries. And,
Yeah.
Okay, my
That's another episode.
Yeah,
we're
sorry, guys.
We'll do a whole,
Sorry. Yeah.
past porn episode. Talk more about
Aliens and porn.
yeah, alien porn.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Hopefully they have the beaks like you're saying. That'd be interesting.
Can you imagine them making out?
Yeah.
Scissoring each other with the.
Oh boy.
All right.
That's hot.
And on that note,
I know.
Yeah.
I'll push this button here. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you.
Till next time.
Yeah.
next time.
See, that's the 70s porn. That's the 70s you porn.